Thanks for being with us. Welcome into Wednesday. So you've got an October 16th extension, right, to file your 2016 taxes, but you're still not ready. Now what? We're joined by Marty Davidoff, CPA and tax attorney based in South Brunswick, New Jersey. Marty, what do you recommend?
Well, we're recommending that people file. You've already had a 6-month extension until October 16th. And at this point, if you don't file and you owe taxes still, you're going to get hit with a 5% per month penalty. So the ideal, if you owe taxes, is to file.
All right. So file the paperwork with some sort of money, or file everything you owe?
Well, the best is to file everything you owe. But you have some people who still don't know what they owe. For some reason, they've been involved in a partnership or some item, and they can't get the return filed. So if they're going to owe a lot of money, I would file anyway, and later they can amend their returns to file the correct return. But at least if you file, you eliminate the late filing penalty. On the other hand, if you have paid all your tax and you know you've paid all your tax and you still can't file, I do what I can to file as quickly as possible, but then it's less critical to file now as long as you know you've paid your taxes. Some people are getting refunds, or they have a good estimate of what their taxes are, and I'd rather those people file late and accurately than file on time and have to amend later. But if you owe money, I reverse it. If you owe money, file now and go amend later. And then there's some gray area depending upon whether you have a high risk return.
Okay, but doing nothing is the worst thing you could do.
Doing nothing is the worst thing you can do.
Is that an immediate red flag?
Filing late is not necessarily an immediate red flag because there are millions of people filing late. But when you do file, you are going to get penalties. I don't think the audit rate is much different for late filed returns than other returns, so I don't think it's a huge red flag, other than if there's a tax owed, you're going to get a notice. And then the next question your audience may be interested is, okay, what if I do owe money? I'm filing an accurate return. I didn't pay my money when due in April. The extension I filed in April was an extension of time to file, not an extension of time to pay. So there are two penalties involved. You've got a 0.5% per month penalty for late payment and a 5% per month penalty for late filing, and that second penalty maxes out at 25%. So if people owe money to the IRS, you have lots of options we can talk about, if you like, as to how to deal with money owed to the IRS.
We're speaking with Marty Davidoff, CPA and tax attorney based in South Brunswick, New Jersey, talking about the October 16 deadline here. What about any of this stuff being negotiable?
You can get a waiver of the penalties under two circumstances. You can get one if you had reasonable cause for being late. You can't just negotiate and say, hey, I want to not pay the penalty. But if you had reasonable cause for it being late, that would be one thing. Usually it's medical, reliance upon third parties for information, although you can estimate, and that would be fine. The other thing is there is a first-timer's penalty abatement. In other words, if you've been timely on your 15 return and your 14 return and your 13 return, 3 years at least going back, and you file late on your 16 return, once you arrange a payment plan to get it all paid, they will waive those penalties under a first-time abatement program that the IRS has.
Thanks, Marty. That is Marty Davidoff, CPA and tax attorney based in Central New Jersey.